I hate the circus. I am terrified of the circus. I am very scared of clowns and anybody who is in a full body costume. Having said that, I do love films and books that are based around circuses and that kind of magical life, but in real life you will not see me inside of a circus. However, the circus book tag is very appealing, and we have a bunch of questions that are based around circus characters and circus acts, and with each one we pick a book, and in this case I will do a movie as well. Ringmaster, the best main character. Thankfully, because Stuart MacBride's last book, Now We Are Dead, made this character a protagonist rather than a supporting character, I can say her, D.I. Roberta Steele. I love her. She's my favourite fictional character out of every book, every TV show, every film ever. She is definitely my favourite protagonist. And for films, I mean, this was difficult because there are a lot of amazing films and a lot of really strong characters. But for this one, I looked at my top 5 overall films and picked my favourite protagonist, and it has to be Robin Williams as John Keating. He is so inspiring, so uplifting, and such a wonderfully created and wonderfully acted character. So a lot of these I can actually give the same book and film as one answer because I've both read and watched them. That's the case with this one. Trapeze Artists, favourite friendship. This one, for me, once I thought of it, I thought that's definitely answer I want to go with, and this is Bruno and Schmoll from the Boyne striped pyjamas. I read the book first back in 2007, late 2007, and then I saw the film, and the friendship between those two characters and the way they interact is heartbreaking, and certainly as the book reaches its climax, I won't spoil it, but it becomes more and more emotional, and I just love that friendship. Juggling, the best love triangle. I can't juggle, by the way. I can kind of do it with 2 balls, but 3 balls, no, not going to happen. This one was difficult for the books because I find love triangles tend to be present in either chick lit or YA. I don't read chick lit. I tend not to read YA. So for the books it was kind of hard, but then when I thought of the film, I thought that answer will work for both. Before I discovered horror, I was a big rom-com fan. I still do like the occasional rom-com, so there were, you know, a plethora of love triangles for me to choose from. But for me, it has to be Bridget Jones's Diary with Renee Zellweger, Hugh Grant and Colin Firth. It's just, you know, all the way through those 3 films, it's just so exciting, and you never know which direction it's going to take or what the characters are going to do. I've only actually read part of the novel, part of the first novel, but I would like to read it in full and see how it compares. My answer for the next 2 questions are identical with both the book and the film because I could think of no better answer, no better contribution to literature and the arts. So it's The Big Top, the best world building, and Magician, the best magic system. Straight away for me, Harry Potter gets book and film answers for both because it is the best world building. It is my favourite fictional but also kind of realistic world that I absolutely love, and obviously it's the best source of magic in all of the world. Tightrope Walkere, one that kept you on the edge of your seat. Now for the book I'm going to go with The Asylum, which is incredible. I think I talked about this in a recent video, and it's about a young woman who wakes up in an asylum, I think in the early 1900s if I'm not mistaken. And she says she's one person, but they're telling her that she arrived and gave her name as somebody else. And we have to go on this journey with her to find out who she actually is, how she got there, and more importantly, how she is going to restore her life and get out of this asylum. And it's just phenomenal. Every page has a different twist and turn, it goes down a different path. Incredible. For the film, difficult to choose just one, but I think I'm going to go with The Visit. Because when I think of a film that I could watch from start to finish without moving my eyes, it's definitely The Visit. It's terrifying, but it's addictive. Contortionists, best plot twist. This is difficult because a lot of my favourite books and films do have twists in them. But I'm going to go with, for the book, The Girl on the Train. Now I did actually watch the film before I read the book, so I kind of knew what was coming. But it's still amazing, still a fantastic book. Absolutely loved it. For the film, I could have gone with The Girl on the Train. Originally I was going to go with The Visit, but I moved that to the previous answer. So I'm going to go with one that I still just can't understand. It's amazing, and it's the plot twist in that club we don't speak about. It's Fight Club. To this day I can't comprehend how shocked I was when that was revealed, and even now I feel sick thinking about it, because it's one of those films where you think you know what's going on and then it just goes, no, you're wrong, you're mistaken, reality is not as you perceive it. Cannonball, a book with an explosive ending. I'll do the film first because the film for me was much easier to think of. This one, the first one I thought of was Die Hard. I think Die Hard has an amazing pacing to it, and then it gets to its climax and it was just an amazing, incredible journey. And Hans Gruber, I love to hate him. I think he's amazing, and it's such a good film. And for the book, I couldn't really think of anything. Originally I thought The Maze Runner, but then I remembered that actually The Maze Runner had an explosive penultimate chapter and then it kind of teetered out. So I actually decided to go with one that may not be a popular answer for this question, but that's Brideshead Revisited. Now the ending itself isn't particularly boom, but what happened when I shut that last page, my heart sank. Do you know that feeling where every now and then you get a book and you read it and you love it and you finish it and you just feel like a little part of you is missing and like you've lost a limb. So for me, that was the most impactful novel I've read in a very long time. Then we have the end of the questions. Terrified of the circus, but love these questions. I love to play with the circus. I love themes that involve the circus and clowns. Pennywise is one of my favourite characters. But if you take it out of the arts and fiction and put me into a real circus, I just can't. It really terrifies me and I don't know why. But this was a lot of fun. As I said, I tag you to do this and I look forward to seeing your answers.